What I would like to do now is take you through all the steps of creating a brand new site on Wix. Now I'm on my dashboard, and unfortunately I will not be able to take you through the steps that will lead you here because I already have an account, but you will set up an account and then eventually you will get to your dashboard where you will find this button which says Create New Site. So you click on that and it will ask you a lot of things. Don't worry about it, just click any one. It doesn't really make any difference at all. Next, and then you will get to this page here. So on the left hand side here we have a system that Wix has, which is artificial design intelligence, which creates the website for you. You don't do anything, you just fill out a whole bunch of forms that ask you questions, and then at the end of it, it makes you a website. You go nowhere near that because this is a web design class. I mean, if Wix is going to design the website for you, then why are you here? So you go over here, okay, and you go to edit a template, and then there's a whole bunch of templates down here which people who are not taking web design classes can use, but people who take web design classes go right here, right to where it says blank templates, because we are going to start from a completely clean white page, okay, and we're going to put everything on that page ourselves, and while we do that we will learn how to make a site. Now if we were to pick one of these, this is already pre-made and you wouldn't really learn anything. You would just be replacing photographs and texts, and that would be it. So let's click here. Now here again you have sort of basic let's say grids, but we don't do any of those. We go right here to the one that says starts from scratch. It's the one on the top left. So right here, start from scratch, that's the one, and you click on edit, and that will open up the Wix website editor, the builder, which will take a few seconds, maybe a minute to load, and then you will be right where you need to be. So this is the editor. Now on the top here there's a whole bunch of things which don't really have much to do with actually designing the website, but then on the left hand here you have a menu, and you will be using that menu a lot. At the top you have all the stuff that you can add to your site. So it starts with the strip, which is a very important component that we will talk about quite a lot. You can add different kinds of texts, images. You're going to be uploading your own images, not taking anything from here. There are buttons which I advise you to stay away from. We don't need them. We make them in a different way. And then you have these very beautiful galleries where you can add photographs and videos and all kinds of things like that. You have decorative elements, you have interactive stuff, which are, for example, slideshows. So you drag the slideshow onto here, you change everything that's inside it, and then it becomes your own design. You have different kinds of boxes, you have lists, you have different video and music players, then you have menus and anchors, lots of them. And you just basically, and we will be doing that in just a minute now, you'll take one of these and then change the design of it, whichever one. We have social buttons, contact forms, we can embed widgets, we can use an HTML code to add widgets. We have a content manager, which quite frankly I have never used. There's a blog within the site, which some people have used in the past for putting content inside. You can have an online store. Again, I have never used that, but I guess if you are going to do a shopping site, you might want to take a look at it. And. So let's close this now. And here you have the menu and page thing that we will be looking at, and that you can also access from here, and you can go to manage pages. We'll be looking at all of that in a minute. Here you have something quite important, which is the site styles, where you can customize your colors, and you can add your own color palette, obviously, and then also you can customize your text. You can change the CSS style, the basic style for the site. You have 3 different paragraphs and lots of headings that you can customize. Let's see, you have a media tab where you can upload your media. The photo studio we will be using, and I will be showing you that. The video maker, quite frankly, I have never used, but maybe some of you will use it, and then I will find out what it is as well. If you want to start blogging, here's the blogging thing, and then there are business tools, which I have also never used. I've never had a usage for them. But anyway, so this is the page, and a website is composed of 3 separate areas. The one on the top here is called the header. The one on the bottom here is called the footer, and this part here in the middle is called the page. Now, on a website, the header and the footer always stay the same on every page, but the page itself changes as you go from page to page. The content of that page changes. So I'm just going to show you an example. My own website here. So this is the header. I have a pretty wide one on which I have the menu here. Then this dark area here is the actual page, and this is still the page. I just divided it into 2. But then here at the bottom I have the footer, where I have, what's the footer usually used for? It's usually used for contact information or legal things like that. The header is usually used, not usually, but almost always used for the menu, and then you also put your logotype there. I don't have a logotype, I just wrote my name. But if we go to different pages here, like let's say, for example, let's go to this one. Now, as you can see, the header hasn't changed, still the same thing. The content has changed, everything is different. But then when you come down, the footer is still the same. And I also have an anchor menu here, and you will probably also be using some of these on your sites. So let's look at another one. Let's look at this one. So again, this changed very smoothly because obviously the page height seems to be the same. So let me just go back, home, and let me go here, smooth and striated. So new page, new content, same header, obviously that stays the same, and then also the same footer. So basically that's what will happen here as well. Sorry, here we are. This will stay the same, this will stay the same, this will always change. So in order to show you this, I need to make the header and the footer a different color. So I'm just going to go here, and right now it always starts with no color, but I'm just going to go to customize design, and then when you are up here, there are different kinds of headers that you can choose from, but I'm just going to choose this one here. And I'm going to make the background like a light gray, and I'm going to make the center a little bit darker, just to set it apart from the actual page. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the footer as well. Again, it will start with no color, but I'm going to change that. And again, I'm going to go to this here, which has an inside and an outside. So again, I'm going to make this, the outside of it, this gray, and then the inside of it dark gray. And I'm doing all of this really just to show you how this works. So now when we look at this, we can see that we have distinct areas. We have the top, we have the bottom, and then we have the center of the page. But the page will change. It will change from page to page to page. So how are we going to see that? We need to first add some pages. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to say, so it's this here. This is the one that makes the pages and the menu. Now it will show you all of this stuff. Ignore it. You just go up here, because if you click on one of these, you have to clean everything, which is a nightmare. Just click on the top left, and we now have a new page, and I'm just going to call it page 1. Now I could just continue like that. I could just say add page, or I could also just duplicate this page and then call it page 2, and that is, if we have 3, that will be enough to show you what I actually want to do. So on the home page, I'm going to change the color of the page to, let's say, pink. again, it's important that you realize that this is not a design class now. This is just to show you the difference between the pages and how that. So this one is going to get blue, just to show you how the navigation works. That's all I'm doing here. I'm not making any fancy schmancy design. And then this one can become green. So we have a pink page, a blue page, and a green page, and then we have the header and the footer up at the top. But so how are we going to go from one page to the other? We need a menu. So we go to menu, and I'm just going to take this one, and I'm not going to do anything fancy to it, except I'm going to change the color to white so that we can actually see what's going on here. I'm just going to make it white because I'm going to have to put it up here. And the clicked we can also make like a little bit darker, and the hover, well, we can make that light blue, I guess. Really, I mean, this is, again, this is not a design lesson. Now, when I dragged it up to the header, it became orange, that area became orange, and now this menu is actually attached to the header. So when I let it go, here it is. This is completely naked, there's no design on it. This is just to show you how this navigation works. So I'm just going to take a preview here. I'm not going to publish this site. Now if I click on page 1, it's going to become blue. If I click on page 2, it's going to become green, and then if I go to home, it's going to be pink. And that is essentially how the navigation of a website works. Now, of course, in order to be able to do that, you will need to have a menu, an architecture, a site architecture, and that is something that we talked about already in other tutorials, so I'm not going to go back to that now. This was just a very basic way of showing you how the navigation of a website works and how the different pages work, and also how to set up the website. And I'll catch you later.